Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Index Engineering. Today's episode we're going to be adding the fuel rails to the Camaro. Hope you enjoy. So the first thing I wanted to do today was go through and clean off the intake where the intake gasket sits. So I got out a couple of Scotch-Brite pads, went through and got them cleaned, got the new gaskets put on, and then we're going to take and get that put onto the Camaro. The other thing that we're doing is we're using some Holly rails, which are not designed to be used in the truck intake. So I'm custom making some brackets that will allow us to use those rails on this intake. The injectors that we're using are the Snake Eater 1500 LS3 injectors. I got those along with the rails for the LS3 because I have an LS3 that I'm going to use if this thing ever dies. So going through right now, getting those intake ports cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll go through and try and get the whole intake assembly set on the engine. And just like that, with the art of cinematography, the intake is installed. Okay, so there's a little bit more to it. Now that we got the intake there, we can go through and get it screwed down in place. We still have to get the rails put on, and we still have to hook up the fuel lines going to the rails. Now, this is the brackets that we're making for the fuel rails. I found some older steel, some notch steel, so we're going to bend it and use it to make some brackets to hold those rails onto the intake. That's an older truck intake. And after getting the first one made, checking the measurements, we're going to go through and do the same thing for the other 3 rail adapters that we have to make. Now that we have those bent into shape, we can go through and put them in our drill press and then drill the holes, which will allow them to mount up to the fuel rails. With all 4 of the brackets done, we can test fit the rails and injectors. The one change that I did make later was instead of using hard line here, I ended up using steel braided line designed for ethanol. I had some issues with leaks on these couple of fittings here. I couldn't just get them tight where I wanted them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video of me getting the rails put on the intake. And feel free to check out these other videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe.